Are you worried that Ramadan is going to end up killing all the gains that you worked so hard for over the last 11 months? Well, I'm going to show you some evidence-based approaches to not only keep your gains, but to maybe grow during Ramadan. But before I do that, hit the like, subscribe button, and the bell notification icon so you can be notified when I drop more evidence-based training and diet advice. So a lot of my viewers are going to be practicing Ramadan right now, which means you're not going to eat anything from sunrise to sunset, a very long fast. And a lot of people are under the impression that you're going to lose muscle tissue fasting for so long and not putting in any calories for so long. Well, the evidence suggests otherwise if you do this. First of all, what you're going to want to do that most people already do who practice Ramadan based on my little bit of research is you're going to want to eat a very high protein meal with potentially some carbohydrates first thing in the morning, early in the morning before the sun comes up. But now you got the rest of the day where you're not eating anything. This really long fast. Well, the current literature suggests that it takes up to 3 weeks of detraining in order to start losing muscle tissue. So are you worried that you're not going to be able to train during this fast because you're going to be low on energy? Well, don't worry, because you really don't have to train that frequently in order to maintain the amount of muscle you already have. Assuming it's not super physiological levels like 250 pounds and 10% body fat, somebody with a normal above average muscular physique can keep all of their gains. And this is how you're going to do it. You're going to really reduce your training frequency down to maybe even just once a week, because if you don't have the calories, the energy, and the consistent protein intake, your responses from training are going to suck. So what your goal is going to be is to reduce the amount of muscle atrophy. So don't worry that you're not going to be training 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, because the evidence shows that in periods of complete detraining, meaning no training at all, it takes about 3 weeks to even start to lose muscle tissue. So if you're doing a relatively brief, intense, short workout once per week, it's going to be more than enough to stop muscle atrophy. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is really make sure you have adequate protein intake. So that's, you're going to want to eat 50 to 100 grams of protein first thing in the morning, fast the whole day, and then when you're able to eat in the evening again, have a couple of meals spaced out maybe an hour or so apart with high protein. Here's another thing that is really going to help you. Have a protein shake or a protein meal right before you go to sleep. Dr. Stuart Phillips has found that consuming protein right before bed reduces the dip in protein synthesis, which is going to really help you not only keep your muscle, but possibly gain it. Talk about possibly gaining muscle. Yes, there is a way. Studies have also shown that people who completely deloaded for a period of time, 2 to 3 weeks, no training at all, found that when they came back to training, they responded better. So the deloading and the reduction of training over the course of a couple weeks not only will not cause you to lose your muscle tissue with adequate protein intake, but when you come back, even with reducing your frequency drastically to just 1 workout per week of a handful of exercises, when you come back after that deload, you're very likely going to respond better. So don't worry about Ramadan killing your gains. It might be the best thing for your gains because you're going to cut back on the training volume, cut back on the frequency, allow some time for your body to recover and make the adaptation. And then when you come back to training during the day with consistent meals throughout the day, your body's going to be so recovered, you're going to respond like that. So what are the key points? 1, eat a big meal right before the sun comes up, high in protein. 2, have a couple of meals at night, high in protein, especially one right before bed. Principle 3, you're going to want to reduce your training volume and frequency. I would say just once a week, maybe about 7 exercises covering all the major muscle groups. And that should be enough to not only completely put a stopgap on muscle atrophy if you do this correctly, but it's going to cause a drastic increase in your response when you come back. Now, if you want to try my advanced arm training workout program, throw that into the mix, and I can promise you not only your arms will not shrink during Ramadan, they will grow. This is some biomechanic secret biceps training techniques that I included in my advanced arm training program that will help you overcome plateaus and experience rapid growth in biceps and tricep size. And also, don't forget, follow me on Instagram, _J_Vincent, for more evidence-based training and diet techniques.